Alright, so Rec Room has released Game AI, which is completely new. It adds a bunch of new tools and chips, and since it is AI, I've seen a lot of confusion about what Game AI actually does, what it is, what it can be used for. And so I'm here today to kind of explain and show you what Game AI actually is. Very simply put, Game AI is not at all similar to Maker AI. You might think it's both AI, but no. Maker AI actually, it's generative, so it can build things for you. Game AI cannot do that. Game AI is more just to enhance the experience for your players of your games. Like, you can make actual NPCs talk to your players, just stuff like that. For example, if you've seen, I've been one of the very lucky few people that got early access to Wave 1. There will be more creators getting access in future waves. But if you haven't yet, I've made a room with Game AI, and it is called Critical Response. Here it is. Oh god. You should totally check it out, because this shows really well what Game AI is capable of and how it can be used. I've seen a lot of people say that it takes the creativity out of making games and stuff. Game AI is not at all like that. Like I said, Game AI is not generative. I'd like to call it additive, because it adds something to your game instead of generating the game. So you still have to make the entire room yourself, like the entire game. Game AI does not do that for you. Game AI only pretty much adds a new way for players to interact with your game. And when done well, it can really add to the experience for players. So let me show some of the chips that are available with Game AI. Now, quick disclaimer, Game AI is not available to the public yet for a reason. It's very early access. There's going to be a lot of changes, and by the time that Game AI is released to the public, this video might not even be accurate anymore, but this is what Game AI is as of right now. So let me show you some of the chips, and then I'll show some examples that I've made, quickly set up to show you what it's capable of. So over here we have the Game AI component, which is this is what the AI runs on. This is what you use. This is where the voice comes out of. This is the AI, basically. So when I configure it, you can see that there is a bunch of options. You can set the instructions for the AI. So in here you'll say, for example, if you have a pirate character and you want the NPC to act like a pirate, you can put in here, act like a pirate. This is basically just instructing how the AI should act and respond. Then there is wackiness, which is a value from 0 to 1. This basically sets how wacky the responses should be. If it's at 0, it the AI will just mainly stay at what you instruct it, and it's not very likely to go off script. If you increase this value, it might be likely to go off script. But in some cases it can be nice because if you leave it at 0, it is also likely to respond with the same response over and over. If you increase it, it's less likely to do that. Then there is voice input enabled. So this, if I turn this on, it will instantly be listening to my voice and respond. I can quickly show what that seems like. Hello.
Hello, it sounds like you're greeting someone. If you'd like to continue the conversation or ask about something specific, feel free to let me know.
Right, there you go. So it just instantly heard me and responded. Then there's a couple tools here which I honestly have not played with yet, but the AI can do certain things with your room. So it can set the room mood, it can recolor some objects, and it can comprehend the room. So it can like know what objects are in the room, I guess. You can synchronize it, you can set the voice. There's 9 different voice options. There is a voice output, subtitle, and a bunch of audio options. And that's pretty much it for the main game AI component. And if we move over here, we have some of the chips. Now there's a lot of chips. I'm only going to cover the basics, what mostly will be used. So over here, there's kind of 2 ways to interact with the AI using chips. You can send a user prompt or a system prompt. Why is there 2 different types of prompts, you may ask? Well, a user prompt is basically just the player interacting with the AI, and then a system prompt is you can use it to sort of give context or sort of nudge the AI into going into a certain direction with the conversation. So if I, for example, in my critical response room, when you're just talking to the 911 caller, like the person who calls 911, then it's just a normal user prompt. But when the conversation starts, like when you answer the call, I send a system prompt to the AI to tell it what situation it should play out. I have a giant list of different situations that it can choose from, and I just pick a random one and then give it to the AI using a system prompt, and then the AI will sort of know what it should kind of play out. So it's basically just giving context to the AI. So that's those. Like there's for each there's also 2 different types. There is just sending the prompt, and there's one with a response. So if you just want to send context, for example, you can just send it using this one. If you also want the AI to reply, which I did in my game, Like when I send it the emergency situation that it should act out, I have it immediately respond as if they're mid-crisis and they pick up the call and they need help immediately. So that's what this does. It sends the prompt and then it gets an output immediately. Now, there's also a this is honestly a really cool chip. There's this one, which is also a prompt chip, but it's a little bit different. So you can send a prompt, but it, as you can see, there's no output. That is because you actually have to configure this one, and when you do, so when you configure the chip, you see this, and there's a button that says add output. So what you can do here, you can add outputs of different types, for example int, float, bool, or string at the moment. I don't know if they're going to add more. I don't even know if we need anything more. But you can name the output, and then you can add a description for the AI so it knows what to populate that data output with. So if you want to know a certain thing from the AI, like should something move, or should an object be moved, you can ask it and then do a bool, and then you will get the output right there. And the cool thing about this one is this prompt, if you send this, it will not get saved in the AI conversation. So it's basically just you're asking the AI for data, which is really cool. Then over here we have string purify. Now, I don't exactly know if this is game AI related, but it was in the game AI stuff, so here it is. Basically what this does is you can give it a string of text, and then it will check if it contains any inappropriate things. And then you can get a bool output, whether it's true or false, and a result, which I think the result just, it takes out all the inappropriate things from your string and then outputs the new string there. So if you, for example, have an AI where you're texting to the AI, this is a very useful way to make sure nothing inappropriate gets sent to the AI. And then lastly, for the game AI stuff here, is clear context. So when you're talking to the AI, you're building up a conversation, and maybe sometimes you want to clear the conversation, like so it just starts fresh. That's when you can use this chip. Alright, then there is a completely different part to game AI, which is Gen AI, which allows you to generate images. So over here we have Gen AI send image prompt. This is where you can send an image to the AI and tell it something, and then it will give a response back. So if you, for example, have a picture of someone's outfit and you want it to judge it, then you can put the image there and then ask it, what do you think of this outfit? And then it will give a response. Then there is this one, which is get Gen AI send generate RecNet image prompts. So this actually will generate images. So you can ask it, you can tell it to generate whatever you want, and then it will output a RecNet image of what you told it to generate. Then there is edit RecNet image prompt. So you can input an image and tell it how it should edit that image, and then it will output an edited version of the input image. And this one is pretty much the same thing, except you can input a texture instead of a RecNet image. Alright, then there is the textured quad, which is a new component. It's basically just a flat plane, but you can display textures on it. For example, for use with these generative images, chips. And together with the textured quad, there is the texture constant, which if you configure it, you can set a width and height resolution. The textured quad set texture, of course, to be able to set a texture to the textured quad. Then there is download RecNet image to texture. So when you generate an image, this one, as you can see, you get a RecNet image over here. To be able to put that, like display it on the textured quad, we need to turn it into a texture. So that's what this one is for. So it downloads the RecNet image and puts it in this texture constant. And then there's also upload texture. So if you have a texture and want to upload it to RecNet, you can do that using this chip. Alright, that is pretty much all the basics. Now let me show you some examples, just some quick examples that I've got set up here. The first one being this very simple button. When I click it, I get this. It's just a simple prompt, but I can enter anything and the AI will respond to it. So if I put in 1 + 1, for example.
1 +
Enter.
1 = 2.
There you go. It just answered the math question. You can put anything in here. So let me try another one real quick. When was Rec Room released, for example?
Rec Room was released in 2016. It's a social virtual reality game that allows players to interact, play games, and create their own content.
There you go. So all this is doing, it's just a prompt. If the prompt is successful, then here we go. So the string purify, so it will first check if there's anything inappropriate in my prompt that I put in. If there isn't, so if it's pure, then it will send the prompt to the AI with a response. Now, what I can do is, since I haven't cleared the context whatsoever using this chip, the conversation is still going and the AI is remembering everything I told it. So if I now put in, what was my first question? Oh, first question.
Your first question was 1 + 1.
There we go. See, it remembered. Now, if I cleared the context, if I just run this one real quick. There we go. And then try again. Oh, if it wants to show up on the camera. So again, what was my first question? Okay, it didn't play the voice, but it said I'm unable to recall any past questions. So yeah, it doesn't remember because I cleared the context. So that's a very simple setup of how that works. Then we come over here, which I just have my good friend Pirate Bob. So I can actually interact with him. Like if I grab him for a second.
Ahoy there, matey. What be ye seeking on this fine day? Gold, treasure, or adventure?
I'd like to find some gold. Do you have some gold for me?
Aye, gold is what I seek too. Follow the map to the X and ye shall find the treasure.
Thank you.
Fair winds to ye. May the seas guide ye to treasure and adventure.
Alright, so I just had to quickly disable its voice input so it doesn't respond to what I'm saying right now. So, as you could see, I could interact with him. Like, I clicked on him, he greeted me in a pirate voice, and asked if I wanted some gold. So I told it, yes, I want gold, and then as I did, it pulled up a map. Now this is a pretty good combination of all the tools that this has. So let me show you how this is set up. It's not too difficult. So as I interact with the interaction volume, I am first disabling voice input. Oh, why can I grab the glass? That's okay. Let's just ignore that. So I'm first disabling my voice input so it doesn't hear me as it is greeting me. I'm just setting the position of the map so it's gone, it's not here. I'm clearing the context, and then I am telling it so I'm telling it player interacts with you, greet them, and ask what they want. So this is a system prompt, so I'm giving it context about what is happening. And I have this enabled. Oh, that glass is really annoying. Let me just get that out. Okay, so I have should wait for audio turned on, which means that the output will actually wait until the audio is completed, and only then it will run. Otherwise, if this is false, it will just immediately run when a response is generated. But in this case, we only want to continue when the pirate is done talking. So I have it set to true. And then when it is done talking, I want to make sure that I can talk to him. So then I am enabling my voice input. Now, you might be wondering, as you're talking to the pirate, how do you know what it is saying back? Because those responses are not being sent using a chip. Well, there's actually an event that gets fired or executed when there's when a response gets generated from the AI. So to get to this, need to edit into the game AI component, and then the event is available in here. So when the game AI response item added, this gets executed when the game AI generates a response. So I'm just sending that to my own event to get it outside of the component. So that is what is here. So when it generates a response, this is what we do. We're first using the structured response chip to get data from the AI. So we're in this structured response chip. Let me show you this. So in here, I have an output, which is show map, and the description is should a treasure map be shown, and it is a bool output. So it is basically asking the AI anytime that it generates a response, should a treasure map be shown? And whenever that is true, it will actually generate a RecNet image of a treasure map. As I have it set, to a stylized square treasure map with a route and red X to mark treasure. So it will generate an image of that description, and then it will download the RecNet image. Like when it is done generating, it will download the RecNet image to a texture, which I have down here. And then once it's done downloading, it will set the texture onto the textured quad, and then show the textured quad. So set the position to where it should be, over here. So that is pretty much what game AI is. I hope this clears up a lot of confusion. As you can see, game AI is not at all like Maker AI. It doesn't generate rooms for you. It is just to add to the experience of your players. Of course, if you haven't yet, Make sure to check out the rooms that are already out with Game AI. They're really cool. If you have any questions about Game AI, feel free to ask me in the Creator Hub Discord, in the comments. Just add me, DJ Icor. But yeah, that's it. I hope this helped, and bye bye.